What's up, you guys?
I don't think you meant to do that.
I did not mean to hit the start button, and here we are. All right, so we're in the car, and I was trying to figure out how to make it stay up, but I can't. So here we are. What's up?
This is awkward.
This is awkward. That's even more awkward. All right, guys, how are you? Hi, Nate. Thanks for your message,
as
my
always,
friend.
buddy. Appreciate it.
You were on point. So we're in the car, you guys, waiting to grab some food. We just left the gym, and we don't have a tripod. We don't tripod. We don't have any of those.
We're getting a plot of land here, apparently.
But we're gonna talk about being proud of yourself, why it's so important. Hi, Mike.
Mr. Mike.
And why a lot of you guys don't do it. A lot of us don't do it. So we'll make the best of the situation. That's for sure. All right, guys. So, what was the last thing you told yourself you were proud of yourself for?
Well, I think
just answer the question. That we'll talk about it in a second. What was the last thing you told yourself you were proud
of? Today.
What were you proud of?
Today I was proud of honoring my worth.
Have you guys ever noticed when I ask Brandon something, he always goes, "Well, but before we do that."
Maybe that's a trigger for it.
Don't tell me what to do. All right.
So, but I think for how simple this conversation is, and I think for you guys, you probably heard us talk a little bit about before, of like one thing that we do, and especially Courtney does every single night with our girls, is what are you proud of yourself for? Like we literally call it like, what are you proud of before they go to bed?
We do, what are you grateful for? What are you proud of yourself for?
And so, you know, for both of us, I think the longest time was that same conversation we had with a lot of people, but was literally the notion of like being able to ask ourselves like, and verbally be able to say and express like the things that we're proud of ourselves for, right? And I think we see that with a lot of our clientele we work with that are high achievers, always striving for more, always those kind of things that, well, I haven't accomplished it, so I'm not proud of myself, right? And it's, well, what if you could experience that every single day, right? Like, what if you could experience a little bit of pride of the things that you do, of even if it's the smallest thing, right? Like, what if you could have the sense of pride of just showing up for yourself today, right? Like, what if it was the sense of pride of having better mindfulness, having better conversations with yourself, owning yourself, like kind of where I felt like for myself of having some pride today of things where I think in my past I would have not held to that very well, right? But I think one thing, and I mean, this brought up a few conversations I had with loved ones and people on that, of like literally not being able to look myself in the eye and say the simple words of like, I'm proud of you, right? And so for you guys out there that are listening, when or if ever have you ever told yourself that you're proud of yourself?
Yeah, well, and I think, so what we've seen so much with this, and we lived this for so long, was it was like, if I'm proud of myself, then I'm complacent, right? Then I'm like, well, but, and we hear this, I mean, most of our clients, you guys will resonate with this, right? They're high achievers, they're go-getters, they're CEOs, they're business owners, right? They're people that are always going for the next thing. But when we're always reaching for the next thing, like, we want you guys taking inspired action, that's what we teach. But we see so many people that are unfulfilled because they're not allowing themselves to be present and in this moment. So when you take a step back and go, okay, none of us are probably ever going to be there yet, right? Like, if you're an achiever, you don't have that personality, and that's fine. But you need to say, wow, look what I've actually done. Look at all the things I've accomplished in my life. Look what I did today. Look what I get to be proud of. And that pride and just the acknowledgement brings you into the right now, right? And here's the thing we want you guys to understand. The energy in which you're trying to create in your life takes you to where you want to go, right? Like, your vision is where you work from, not where you work to. Right? And so if you want to be accomplishing more, you've got to be proud of what you're doing in the right now. Right? And I don't want you to make up stuff and be like, well, I actually just laid on the couch today and I was totally lazy and I didn't do anything and I was a jerk to everyone in my life. Like, don't be proud of that stuff, but you probably all have something you can be proud of. And what you need to understand is that showing up proud of yourself and honoring yourself and being present puts you in the right energy to create more of what you already want in your life, right? And it gives you the sense of fulfillment. We talk to so many people that have checked all the boxes. We talk about this all the time. Checked all the boxes, done all the things. And from the outside looking in, like, they have everything, but they're not fulfilled and they're not ideally happy and they're not in that place where they want to be. So if you can allow yourself to be proud right now and present, you're going to show up in a different energy so that you can start to be more fulfilled and have more of what you're actually striving for in your life, not just checking all the boxes of the things that you're supposed to do in your life.
Well, because I think the thing that we see oftentimes with everyone is achievement. We hold our hopes and dreams and aspirations on the aspect of achievement, right? Like, well, once I achieve it, then I will be happy. Yeah, a question that kind of follows that is, what's the last thing that you have achieved in your life, of whether it be a goal, whether it be fitness, relationship, whatever? How long did that feeling of achievement last? Right? Like 3 months? Probably not. 3 weeks? Probably not. 30 days? Probably not. 3 hours? Maybe, right? Like when we get that sense of like, right? Like how many of you other have also achieved out of that, and you get to the other side and you're like, well, this is really all that was, right? Like that's all that I got out of that, right? Like if that's the case, that's what we want to get across there is it's never the things that we achieve, it creates happiness. It's who we become along the way, right? And that's where that sense of fulfillment comes into it. But I think Courtney touched on that, is major on that, is the essence of presence, right? Like if you can bring the essence of presence in this moment in time, that automatically will allow you to appreciate and come from a level of gratitude, but at the same time be able to see what you are and who you are in this moment in time, and be able to appreciate that now, and actually be able to see yourself as appreciative, as a sense of like, wow, you know what, and from a sense of gratitude, and on the sense of being able to really honorably look at yourself and be able to say, you know what, I'm proud of you today. We're not there yet. And just like what Courtney said, you're never going to be there, right? Because by the time you get to the goal and the thing that you're wanting to achieve, you've become a different person that's going to want something else on the next realm that's around, right? But it's being able to honorably and literally look at yourself and full-heartedly say, you know what? I'm proud of you for doing X, Y, Z today. And so that's what we want to challenge you today, is to be able to do is find something small, right? I think like most of us like, well, I got to cure cancer. I got to save the world. I got to do all these things. No. Like, what's the smallest thing that you can find in your life today that you can be proud of, right? Did you smile at somebody? Did you hold the door open for somebody? Did you allow somebody else to experience something for themselves today that they wouldn't have maybe experienced if they didn't have contact with you, right? Like, start small, and I promise if you can layer this in habit and every day, you will find way more. Yet again, it's just like gratitude we've talked about. You will find those sensations a lot more come up in your life, and you'll probably see that you've actually accomplished way more than what you probably give yourself credit for.
Yeah. So my advice is say it out loud to somebody if you can. If you're not quite there yet, write it down. Like every night before you go to bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for and 3 things that you're proud of. And then when you're ready on the next level, look in the mirror. Like straight up look yourself in the eye, see past what the things you judge yourself on, and say, you know what, I'm really proud of you for this, and feel it, and then receive it, right? Don't just say it, but let yourself actually receive it back, and you will start to, like Brandon said, really see that shift in what's happening, right? So my advice to, one more piece of advice in the morning before, write down something that you think could trip you up in the day, right? We all have those things you're like, oh, that thing might get me, right? Like write down what's going to trip you up, and then at the end of the day reflect on how it went for you and why you're proud of yourself, right? Even if like you fell on your face in a business meeting, like what did you learn from that? What can you be proud of? What can you be grateful for all those things? And start to have the bookend of your day with like who you want to be that day, who you want to show up, and what inspired action you're taking, and then let yourself reflect all the positive things at the end of the day that you learned from it. So we're huge fans of morning routine and evening routine. I think it's a really big deal too to start to have some shut off at the end of the day. So
well, and I think with the one last thing on there, you guys, is yet again, it's how many of you guys are checking all the boxes. You're goal oriented. You're working your way through the list of the goals, but there's still not that sense of fulfillment that's behind it, right? Like there's no sense of happiness. There's no sense of joy. I mean, that's I can relate 1,000% with that. It's the strive and go and push, and because those are the things we're taught in our media by gurus or whatever it may be, right? Like, but at the same time, if we can't be present, we can't be proud now. You're not going to be proud when you achieve the things that you're striving for.
Yeah. So If you guys are curious about this, this is part of what we're teaching in our Shift Beta program. Really, we're going to just help you optimize your life, have all the things, be fulfilled, have more energy, have more freedom, just really be the person that you want to be in all aspects of your life. So we've got, I think we've got 6 people in the group right now. We've got a few more spots open. So if you guys are interested, drop me a line, drop me a comment. We can jump on the phone, see if it's a good fit for you, see if it's where you want to go in the next 90 days and how we can help you guys get there. So hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. We will probably be back at our desk tomorrow, but from today we're doing car files. So we appreciate you guys. If you're up for it, drop in the comments. Give us some hearts. Give them some hearts for being proud of yourself. But drop in the comments what you're proud of yourself for today. Put it out there in the world and own it. And I bet you will see how much better it makes you feel. So, yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, y'all.
gang.